this is our second release on Bat Skull. So having done Spark That Moves and it actually worked, it like went well, like gave us the confidence to like continue on, to be like, oh, okay, that didn't fail. So like, great, we can like continue down this path. But then it also really took a lot of the pressure off because we didn't have any, like the folks at New Damage and Dynalone, like help us distribute and help us wherever we need it. But they're not like, where's the new record? Like, you know, like you should have been spending this 2 years like crafting a masterpiece. Like there's none of that. So it's more just us like having fun as like three friends, like still making music together. And honestly, like it feels more like we're like 20-year-olds at this point, because we're like, Mikey's like, you know, working a job and like you finish work and then you get to like jam and like do these things. And so it's brought a lot of like interesting new energy to like the band that, again, like we haven't, like Cancer Bats has been our job for a super long time. So when we weren't able to tour, like Mikey was doing spray foam and he was like, you know, on the job site. And so he's like showing tracks to people and getting excited and like talking about like working on the band. Jay's been working in his wood shop. So again, he's like listening to bands like while he's like building stuff out of wood. Like it's like all of these fun kind of like things that you don't think about. Like when you were a kid, like when I worked at Urban Outfitters, you know, I just was like thinking about my band and like having that going on in my head all day. It's like, then you're waiting until you could get off work and like go do it. So it's like now fast forward, it sort of feels like that same kind of energy. And yeah, it's great. It's made
like that energy and the passion totally comes out in the album. Like I have like 100 questions to follow up on that, but the one that I just want to start off with though is, when did like the writing and creative process for this one actually start?
So we had always been planning on writing another record in 2020. So, and normally we take like actually like a year off. We'll do a little bit of touring. Usually we do some Bat Sabbath, kind of like our Black Sabbath alter ego. We'll fill some of the void and like help pay some of the bills. But for the most part, we had like 2020 blocked off to start doing that. The kind of like curve was when 2020 was going and people were like, I don't think 2021 is going to happen either. And we were like, all right. So we just kind of like at that was like maybe June of 2020. And we were like, I was like, I'm going to go ride my dirt bike. Like I'm getting back into skateboarding. It's sunny and beautiful in Halifax. Like I'm going to go to the lake. And we all just kind of decided to like take a break from it and actually like not work on anything. So we took the rest, like another 6 months to just like chill, do whatever, be with family, have fun, have a fun summer. Cause we were just like, well, there's no pressure now, in like a positive way though. I mean, it was a little bit like, it was like frustrating. And I think our response was like, let's not stress ourselves out, because that's the last thing that we want Cancer Bats, you know, album 7 to be, is like a frustrated thing. Or my big part too was that I don't want to write a song that's just like being in lockdown, you know. Like,
it really sucks.
Yeah, it's like nobody needs that record. That record's gonna get made a few times over. It's gonna be fine. It'll be great. It'll be done better by like real goths, not me. I'm like, I need to ride this dirt bike that I just bought. I need to get better at my front side carves anyways. I got to conquer these bowls all over Nova Scotia. I was like, I have bigger fish to fry.
Okay, but did you conquer all of these things, or is it still a work in process?
I mean, it's life is a work in process, right? So I felt like I definitely will say 2 things came out of this pandemic. Well, 3. We made a record.
Yeah.
I got better at riding dirt bikes. I'll toot that horn. All I did was ride dirt bikes. And I got those frontside carbs down. So you know what? I'm a better skateboarder, better biker as a result. Okay. In my own opinion, I'm still far from, you know, everyone else that I ride with, but I definitely felt like I took some time and focused on what was really important.
I want to talk about Hammering On, when this was kind of wrote within it all, because like I'm transcending like the vocals on it, the guitars, the layering, and like the lyrics, I want to be blind, I want to be blind, I want to close my eyes to the truth. Like all of this, I cannot wait to see live. But when did you actually do this all in the process of this? Like, was it a riff that started this song or a lyric that inspired it?
It was definitely a riff that started it. Jay started this song off with like, because we love, you know, obviously our Sabbath, doomy, stoner. We were talking about like old cursed riffs. There's also a lot of like what Jay and Mikey will do sort of around sound check, or especially when Wade McNeil was playing guitar with us. Lots of times he would need like a second to tune, just because he was wilding out. So he would be like, I got to get this back into tune. So Jay and Mikey were coming up with these like cool stoner sort of interludes that they would play just bass and drums. And so Jay just took one of those riffs and basically expanded on it and turned that into what is Hammering On. And I had this idea because I loved how like doomy it was, but I also love like where Sabbath will take like an idea, like a political idea like War Pigs or something like that, and look at it from a different perspective. So I basically like seeing all these like, you know, things happening on the internet. All we were doing is doom scrolling on our phones, looking at like, you know, the Amazon burning and all this stuff, and like people denying climate change. It's like I was thinking about these ideas of the perspective of someone who's like, I don't care about any of this stuff, who's just like focused on like their own, you know, profit and gains, and like not concerned with any of these things. And those were those ideas of just being like, no, I want to be blind to this. I want to push profits past the point of like dialogue. Like I do not care about any of this. And it was like interesting to try and think of like not trying to sympathize with them, but more just like writing from that perspective of that person. And then having it turn into this like very much like different song. Because once we had Brooklyn Doran like sing on it, I had this idea too, because we've had people feature on songs and it'll just be like the bridge or a verse. And I was like, we should get Brooklyn to sing the whole song. Like total like Fleetwood Mac style. Like, and even when we were mixing it, I was like, this needs to be like a duet. This isn't like a supporting vocal. This is like two people singing at each other. And like I was like, it has to be like loud in the mix. Like it has to be just as important of a part of the song as my vocal. Because I feel like sometimes when, you know, engineers and everyone are mixing, they're just like, oh, but this is like, yeah, this is supporting your vocal. And I was like, absolutely not. Like we need to be like split left and right. Like we're two people singing this song at the same time.
Lonely Bong had me in tears. What was it like filming that video? I don't know if it was stressful, because I know it's a whole other beast to actually make the video, but it looked like it was fun.
No, it was fun. It was genuinely like us having fun. I think like working with Mitch Barnes and like his whole crew like made it super easy and relaxed. Also having all of our friends, like, you know, Stevis being there to like actually shoot was really fun. Wade is like hilarious. Like we shot that intro sequence like so many times because we were just all laughing. Like we were all just like having such a good time. And then like Chris from the Flatliners, like he just lives up the street from where we were filming. So he just like stopped by and we're like, whoa, you should be in the video. So it was like really fun and natural. But we even like, man, we finished that video early just because everything was like so easy and chill, and like all the shots got finished, and we were like, yeah, just like having a good time. But all of those, like the cinnamon challenge, like those were all one take. We couldn't do them again because
you actually did the cinnamon challenge. I was going to ask you, what?
that footage is Jay actually just like coughing cinnamon. It's so funny too, because we did that cinnamon challenge first, and then we did the milk one afterwards, which kind of cleared out the cinnamon. And then Jay won the cracker one. Like that was the third thing we did. And I was like, how did you lose the cinnamon and then like win the cracker thing like 10 minutes later?